Hello everyone, I am Bradley Sward, and this is my solution to day 9 of the Advent of Code 2023 competition. The problem is called Mirage Maintenance, and I am solving the problem today in Python. So let's take a look at the problem. They are number sequences all over the place here, and basically we're kind of trying to figure out what the next number in the sequence is, and it's not always so simple, right? So like in this case, everything adds by 3 for each line, so the next number should be an 18. Just make sure here, so the next number should be 18. And then for the second one, well, this increases by 1, then 2, I'm sorry, 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. So I would think the next one should be a 28, and lo and behold, the answer is 28. So, and then for the final one, this one's maybe not so easy because we increase by 3, then by 3, then by 5, then by 9, then by 15. But if we follow their rules here, we get 68 for the next number. So basically what we're trying to do here is reduce down this problem as a series of differences. So the first one was easy, since when we do this here, when we reduce 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15, that every difference is a 3, and then that means from the next row, every difference will be a 0. And then that way we know if we work our way backwards that the 18 will be the number. And so they show this as creating another index or another element to every one of these lists, and that really simply does not have to be, because if you can just take these numbers out of play here and just sum up the last elements as we're going from our start set to our end set, you will see that that adds up to 68 just the same. So you don't have to do any extra list manipulation to get the answer. Basically, when you generate the new list from the old list, you just have to add the last element to a running total, and then that will get the job done. And so at least for part 1, you can see my answer there. So at least for part 1, that's my answer. And so I have a running total. For every line in my file, I'm going to reduce it down so it's a series of integers like like you would expect it to. And then while the sum of that line, of that list of integers is not 0, and you have to make sure you have to account for the fact that there could be negative numbers in here. You might want to, I used greater than 0 for a while, and then I realized that that was not a correct answer. But as I was saying here, you take the first element or the last element of the list, which is the -1 element in Python anyway, it makes it really easy to figure out. You add that in, and then you reduce it down. So for every element, for every 2 elements, find the difference, and then put it into the new list. Rename it the same name. And so the list will reduce, and as long as the sum of those values does not equal 0, we'll just continue on and adding to the total line by line. And if you do this for each individual line, and then you go ahead and you sum it all up, you get that answer, the answer that you see here, that is the solution to the problem. So then for part 2 here, there was nothing to, so basically to say if you add to the back of the list, if you want to know what the next element is, well, what's stopping us from asking what should be the previous, like what would be an element that goes before it? And this one for me was a little trickier based on the way I solved that problem, since I wasn't adding to any lists. I was just I was basically just computing as I went. It's not as simple, and I don't know, I can't see the pattern here. I only spent a couple minutes thinking it out, and I'm like, I don't know if there truly is a pattern here. But to kind of work your way backwards, you kind of have to say, okay, start here, basically as a 0 here, and then take whatever the first element of that list is and subtract it from the number that you have. So 2 minus 0 becomes a 2. And then for the next value here, you go, well, this number 0 minus 2 gets me to -2. And then this 3 minus -2 gets me to a +5. And this 10 minus 5 gets me to a +5, which would be the first or the previous element of this list of the series of numbers. And it's the same basic rules. You're just working your way back. For this time, instead of working your way forwards as you go, you have to work your way back. So as you can see with my code, that when you see with my code, that basically I'm maintaining the list of the first element of every list as I'm going forward through and working my way down, and then I'm working my way backwards, subtracting off the way I just described it to you. And when I get that value, then I can sum up and I can add it to the total, and then I do the same exact stuff line for line. It's just a matter of this time I have to maintain the values At least I feel like I have to as I go. If there's a formula for it, I just didn't see it. Maybe you can comment, the 10 or 12 of you people who watch these videos at this point. But anyway, so that is the, and for an odd reason, you get 908 out of all of the sums. There's 200 of those things. And it's just odd to me that it's just such a small number compared to the first part. But that's the answer. So that's all. That's all there is to say about that. So there you go. My number is 908. Got 2 gold stars. Happy me. I got to, didn't get to do this overnight, so I'm glad I got to do this afternoon and have a little fun with it. So as always, let me put up the code one more time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking it out with me. If you have any questions or you have any better ways to do things, I'd love to hear it as always. Just please comment below. And looking forward to 4.5 hours from now to day 10 and the next problem. So see you guys then. See you in future videos. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, everybody.